Since I've spoken a little bit about Chester's death, I've had a few people ask why celebrity deaths matter. On a global scale, they're right. It's just another person. But celebs are basically people we don't know that spend a lot of time in our lives, even if we never actually meet. They're with us in our best times and darkest times. I'm sure we can't even say that about most friends. But because of the nature of entertainment, like music and movies, these people are with us when we need someone most. Even when we're too afraid to share what we're going through, they're there. When I was 20, I moved state, left all my friends behind. I left sunshine and warmth for a cold, dark place. That's not a metaphor, I actually left the Gold Coast to live in Melbourne. I had no one to talk to down there, not as a good friend anyway. And what did I do? I spent a lot of my time listening to Linkin Park. That year, the Reanimation album came out. I bought it straight away. The song you're listening to right now is from that CD, but I've slowed it down, right down, to the point I could zone out to it, listening to every note. It gave me an escape from the pain I was feeling. It kind of made the pain feel like it made sense, so it gave me strength when I was at my weakest. Like I wasn't alone in the fight, and I just had to accept the pain as I moved forward. And whose voice was it that expressed the pain and made me feel strong? Chester's. I'd watch videos of Linkin Park interviews and live shows. I'd follow the band to see what they're up to. They're just a bunch of awesome guys making great music. So while I was alone in a cold, dark Melbourne, it felt like they were my friends. Now imagine going into that trance for years, listening to these songs, feeling weak but building yourself up with the music, getting the confidence and fight to stay alive, and face up against life's challenges. Your entire life is being built using inspiration from them. I'd repeat the song lyrics, I'd see their faces, I'd hear Chester's screams of defiance, like a battle cry in a way, and Mike's reassuring words. Even if they weren't reassuring, the confidence in his delivery made them seem it. I wrote my first novel listening to Linkin Park's Reanimation. Obviously the novels aren't about the songs at all, but the world, it's hard to describe. We're all building worlds in some way. Every sentence, every action, every thought, it's all defining something, even just a moment. Maybe I understood their songs in my own way, but it felt like they were building a big piece of a world, and I was building another, like we were a team. I always felt like my books were part of the same goal as their music, and if the books ever became movies, they would do the soundtrack. These are the dreams of a young man that was lost and just trying to find something to believe in. I guess you could say, somewhere he belonged. This isn't a few days, this isn't a few hours, this is years. Years of constant dedication to ideas, building beliefs like giant towers, holding on to ideals like they were anchors. They became a constant in my life, something I could rely on. Remember that, a constant. Out of depression, I had my best friends with me every step of the way, and those friends were Linkin Park. Can you see why Chester meant so much to me? It's not that he was more important than other people, he was just more important to me and many others, because he was there for us, even if he wasn't actually there. The music he made gave us what we needed, and that's all that mattered. So even if he was just another person, to me and others, he was a best friend. He was a brother. He was one of the only people fighting the same fight I was. And as someone who has always felt different and a bit out of place, often feeling like I'm from another world, he seemed like one of the only people from the same world I was. Someone who would actually understand me if we ever spoke. I lost more than another person the other day. I lost a big part of my world. You see, we're all building ourselves. Many of us try to build ourselves based on things we love. I think that's why we get so aggressive when someone attacks our religion, band, or favorite gaming console. You're not just attacking a thing, you're attacking something that defines or makes someone who they are, something they identify by. Chester was there in my darkest times, giving me strength to fight on. I thought Linkin Park was always going to be there for me, like they would remain that constant. I've had them with me for so long. In a way, it was part of how I knew myself. Who is your favorite band? Linkin Park. For 16 years, the same answer, the same memories, the same strength, the same building, the same music. I'm going to be okay. I've built myself up enough to get through pretty much anything. I'm strong like I would never have believed possible. But for the first time in years, I've genuinely cried, because that strong mental state that I built just took a big hit. One of my best friends has fallen. A big part of who I am has fallen. The team I had built in my inner world just got weakened. I guess that was always a danger, given the world we were in. But I refuse to give up. Life is too amazing and we've come too far to let it go. I will always find a way. I will always defy those negative patterns and thoughts. This was the thinking behind the channel name. Why I defy. I don't care how much is against me. I don't care what my emotions say. I don't care what other people say. I'm going to find a way to make the world a better place. For me and hopefully everyone else too. Don't worry, I'm not delusional. I'm not trying to change the world on my own. I know that's not possible. But the better I can make my world, meaning everything I come into contact with, the better chance I have at influencing others in a positive way. And hopefully that is enough to inspire them to do the same, in their way. If everyone tried to make the world a better place like that, and let people do as they choose as long as they don't hurt others, well, I don't know what would happen, but it's not really about the result, it's the journey. The journey is more important than the end or the start, right Mike? Set the goal as a positive one, and live your journey chasing that positivity. Even if it fails, it seems like a good path to take. Listen, when you look out into space, you realize how alone we really are. Even with the billions and trillions of planets out there, most places are lifeless. Go to Mars for 6 months. No communication with anyone, it's just you. Your worst enemy is living there too, and after 6 months, you finally meet up. The amazing thing is, no matter your issues in the past, you will probably be best friends. Because we're human, we're social creatures, we need each other. We'd be overjoyed just to see another human after so long. The sooner we realize we're on the same team, the better. I felt outcast and alone, like no one on the planet was with me. I used to say that I hated people, all the time, but I found my allies in a group I've only met once. They showed me that there were others like me out there. While the music was often about negative topics, I found the positive within it. Screaming from the pain sounds bad, but just knowing you're not the only one who's going through that, and there are others out there thinking the same things you are, that gave me some peace. Social creatures, remember? We need to know we're not alone, and we're not. I then found more allies, and now I realize that everyone should be an ally in a way. We may not agree on everything, but we should be working together somehow. We're all human, and if we don't look out for each other, and the other species on the planet, then we really are alone in the universe. I don't hate people. People are awesome, but they're still learning, just like me. And we're all going to make a lot of mistakes. And that's okay. I see we're on the same team, and that makes me want to help in some way. And it all started with that one voice that broke through the darkness and said I wasn't alone. And that's why celebrity deaths can matter.